Next on 10 News, police took down a man who was randomly shooting at cars in Plant City.
And Governor DeSantis puts teachers at the top of his priorities for 2020, but some educators say it's not enough.
And if you haven't gotten your flu shot yet, well, you might want to get on that. It's not even peak season yet, and the health department says they're already worried. Thanks for joining us here on 10 News. I'm Katie McCall.
And I'm Allison Croft. First tonight, we are going to start with a 10 News alert. The breaking news out of Plant City. Investigators say a man randomly shot at cars before then turning his gun on police.
And that is when an officer shot him. 10 News reporter Liz Birch is there now live. Liz, what's going on out there? In December, 2 children died from the flu here in Florida. Halfway through the month of January, that number is now up to 4. Pediatricians say we're dealing with a particularly nasty flu virus this year. And in the past 24 hours, it has sent an unusual number of kids to our local emergency rooms. 10 News reporter Eric Glasser is looking into what's behind this latest flu outbreak and what doctors say parents need to be doing now to protect their kids. And because there have been outbreaks so early in the season, doctors in the U.S. have already revised the number of flu-related deaths they expect to see this season from about 125,000 to 175,000. According to a recent study from a professor at Mount Sinai School of Medicine, this all comes down to the weather. Cold temperatures and low humidity helps flu particles stay in the air. The viruses float in the air in little respiratory droplets. When the air is humid, those droplets pick up water, grow larger, and fall to the ground. Now, that doesn't mean staying indoors at home will keep you safe. The best way to stay healthy, we say this all the time, wash your hands, avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth, and get a flu shot.
It is a story you will see only on 10 News. Today, we're learning the Pinellas County School District is planning to search for possible graves on.
Governor Ron DeSantis marked the opening of the state's legislature with the annual State of the State address, and he made some bold goals for the year, including big changes for your child's school.
Number one, recruiting and
the governor recommended raising teachers' starting salary to $47,500. He also wants to replace the Best and Brightest bonus program and allow more parents to choose what school they send their kids to. But the Florida Education Association responded, saying the governor fails to reward veteran teachers for their skill and years of experience. The governor also told lawmakers he wants them to pass a bill that would require girls under the age of 18 to get their parents' permission before getting an abortion. He also wants a wide-ranging bill to address the state's algae problem, specifically reducing fertilizers and nutrients that are flowing into the state's waterways. And he wants a bill that would require employers to use E-Verify. That's a system that ensures that people are legally allowed to work in the United States. You can watch the governor's full State of the State address on our 10 News Facebook page. Just search 10 News WTSP.
Send you all that.
Are we going to need jackets over our costumes, or are we going to be okay?
It does look cool. It's definitely going to be cooler by that time. That's for sure. I think right now it's going to look comfortable, but still, that's a ways out, to be honest with you. Now, this is the gas.
A local group is working to save brown pelicans in Tampa Bay by spreading awareness about how fishermen hook them and by recruiting volunteers to go out and look for hanging pelicans before they die. The vice chair of the group, Friends of the Pelicans, tells us many in our area are dying.
It just breaks my heart. It literally, I have gone home many nights and I've cried.
This week, the group is planning to meet with the Florida State Parks manager of the Skyway Fishing Pier to request that the pier add a rescuer whose job it would be to help save those pelicans who are wrapped up in fishing lines. For information on what to do if you find a pelican that has been hooked, just go to our website, WTSP.com. Just last week, St. Pete City Council members adopted the brown pelican as the official city bird. Not only do you see them flying all around, the image is already in the city logo, on manhole covers, and on city cars. The brown pelican was seriously endangered in the early 1970s. It is protected by the Migratory Bird Treaty Act and listed as imperiled. More than 33% of Americans who are 65 and older do not have any money saved for retirement. That's from a survey by Go Banking Rates.
So that's then leading some seniors to get creative to try to make ends meet by getting roommates.
That was the entire premise of the Golden Girls right there.
Yes.
And that worked out well for them.
It did. They had a good time.
Experts say if you're going to find a roommate, it's important to use a reputable organization to avoid scam artists out there. I kind of had enough of having a roommate in college.
You had a couple of them again. Well, listen, they're talking about financially, but
right?
Then it becomes companionship, right?
Yeah.
He said that his kids like that he has somebody to help him out and to be there.
It could be fun. If you like the person, it could be fun.
It works out. And if you have an agreement, you pay this. This is how it functions around here.
Good deal.
Could work out. News at 5:30 starts now.
And we'll get to those stories in just a moment. But first, neighbors are demanding changes along Bayshore Boulevard after yet another deadly crash there.
Last week, a drunk driver hit and killed a jogger. Tonight, a local group under the name Take Back Bayshore will meet to discuss plans to make that area safer. So here are some of the items that they're looking at. Closing.
A disturbing story out of Bradenton. People found several stray cats dead in their neighborhood. This happened over the weekend. A woman who's an animal advocate stops by the area every single day to feed the cats. And one day she was surprised one of them did not greet her. When she picked it up, she realized the cat was dead. The next day she found another one dead. Cats who live outdoors tend to die from old age and the elements, but the following day she found yet another dead cat.
They rushed it.
The woman says she knows for some, stray cats in a neighborhood can feel like a nuisance, but says killing them is not the solution. A total of 5 cats were found dead. Right now, officers with Manatee County Animal Services are investigating those deaths. We're also keeping an eye on some other stories that you need to know tonight. Heads up, if you drive a Toyota, the company is recalling nearly 700,000 cars in the U.S. because the fuel pumps can fail and cause engines to stall, which then increases the risk of a crash. The recall covers 2018 and 2019 versions of these Toyota and Lexus models. Some other 2019 models are also affected, including the Avalon and the Corolla. So if you own one of the cars affected by this recall, you will be notified by mail by mid-March. We have a list of the impacted models at WTSP.com. The wildfires in Australia are bringing the Australian Open in Melbourne to a stop. Players are struggling to breathe because of all of that toxic smoke. Maria Sharapova struggled in the heat and smoke before her match was called off in the second set. Fires have been burning across eastern Australia for months now, killing dozens of people, millions of animals, and destroying more than 2,000 homes. If you use Microsoft Windows, you could get an automatic update on your computer. The National Security Agency recently discovered a major flaw in the Windows operating system. This could potentially expose users to breaches. Microsoft says the NSA notified the company about it and a fix was made available today. The bug is essentially a mistake in the computer code that affects the Windows 10 operating system. That is the most widely used system by both government and private businesses. All right, the Bolts are back at Amalie tonight against the LA Kings after their final home. This is their final home game before the All-Star break begins.
Yeah, they were on a roll until the New Jersey Devils snapped their 10-game win streak over the weekend.
That was a bummer. 10 Sports anchor Justin Granite is live at Thunder Alley, where the Bolts have a new All-Star. Oh, here's hoping, guys.
Yes.
Right?
That'd be good.
Let's do this.
Get back on the roll.
Justin's got another great seat out there tonight.
Right?
Wow.
You guys got a good
He gets all the
dick
good
right there.
assignments.
Anybody in Thunder Alley tonight, it's going to be really pretty.
So almost 80 right now, and then when they
nice.
come out of the game, it'll be about 75 degrees.
Perfect.
It's hockey weather,
Right?
right? That's what it is
Florida
for us.
hockey drop.
Right? We're
Yeah.
in summer, then we're getting winter. Oh boy. Tampa is growing with more than 50,000 people moving to the area last year. That's from the U.S. Census.
And with all of that influx of people, developers are rushing to put up some multifamily apartment buildings. But there's this group of people that says their area is not ready for it.
Yeah, we're talking about the area south of Gandy. 10 News reporter Tweelon Wynn is there to show you what they say needs to happen.
This is Interbay and West.
After the break, we'll take you behind the scenes to meet the mechanics who help these trucks fly. Monster Jam returns to Raymond Stadium on February 1st. This is a noisy event for everyone from gearheads to grandmas.
There are 100 monster trucks racing nationwide for Monster Jam. When they take a break, many make a visit to a Palmetto garage. 10 News reporter Bob. $10,000.
That is
Damage
incredible.
show.
We're going to take our cars there. Wait till you see what we're
That
going to do.
turns out, right?
Get it all tricked out. That shop in Palmetto does more than just engines. It's also where the world famous Gravedigger gets its paint job.
And that's the only one that is hand painted still. So Jim McShay says that he's painted Gravedigger 450 times. It takes him 40 hours to complete each custom paint job.
He's good.
Yeah.
Tell you what, those are some sweet